Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to Dadeland, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram for giving me time with the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. If you're in the market for a Jeep, you can come check out Dadeland, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram and ask for Brian. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about the Wagoneer here. Jeep hasn't offered the Wagoneer for nearly 30 years here in America, but Jeep did bring it back for 2022. And they do want a piece of the luxury pie here because the Cadillac Escalade is the top dog in this segment. So that's why Jeep brought this back. It does have really nice technology. We'll talk about all that once we get inside the interior of the Grand Wagoneer. If you guys want to see a normal Wagoneer review, be sure to check out that description box down below. But let's talk about the exterior styling here of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. As you guys can see here, my model does have this black appearance package. So there's really no chrome on this vehicle besides the Grand Wagoneer badging on the side profile. But looking at the front fascia here, I think Jeep did a really good job. This vehicle looks like a rolling concept. As you guys can see, like I mentioned, this does have this blacked out package. There is the Wagoneer name, which is spelled out here in the front fascia. This also has the 7 corporate slot grille here, which Jeep is known for. There is a front facing camera with a washer on the end of it. So if you guys do want to take this $100,000 Jeep off-road, you can definitely do that. But me personally, I wouldn't do that. There's also front parking sensors, and my model does have these LED fog lights here at the lower part of the fascia, and there's these LED projector headlights with an automatic low and high beam, and there is this sequential turn signal with this LED daytime running light. I think no other competitor in this luxury segment offers a sequential turn signal. Stepping away from the Grand Wagoneer here, as you guys can see, like I mentioned, a rolling concept. This vehicle looks very good, but looking at the side proportions here, this has a 123-inch long wheelbase with an overall length of 214.7. So this is the biggest in the segment. I think the Cadillac Escalade is around 210 inches, but that's if you don't go for the extended wheelbase version. So Jeep did get the proportions right here with the Grand Wagoneer. But looking at these tires and wheels here, I actually like this rim design here with the black finish. And these are a 285/45 Goodyear tire. They're wrapped in this 22-inch rim design, just like every other luxury vehicle in this segment. There's the Grand Wagoneer badge here at the lower part of the door panel. Like I mentioned, this is the only trim that you're going to see which is not blacked out, and there's the American flag there to show American pride. There's also this LED side marker here in the mirror cap, and Jeep does offer this large panoramic sunroof, and I think the rear passengers also get their own panoramic sunroof in the back. There's also these aerodynamic roof rails here. But making our way to the rear of the Grand Wagoneer, looking at these taillights, I actually love the taillight housing here design, how Jeep did it, and it's gonna show that sequential turn signal as well. It's full LED, of course, which is a turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. There's the Grand Wagoneer name, which is spelled out, very big font here. I wish Jeep would have integrated this a little up there somewhere because it does kind of stick out and it looks very odd to see the rear wiper like that. But there's the Quadro Drive 2, and there's no other badging on this side. But looking down here, this is where the reverse lights live. And also there's rear parking sensors, and there's the towing piece right there once you remove that plastic area. So you can tow with the Grand Wagoneer if you would like. There's also LED lights for the tag, and it does have dual tip exhaust, but I wish Jeep would have did a better job with integrating the exhaust to stick out instead of sticking down. But that V8 does sound very aggressive. But to open up the cargo bag here, Jeep puts the button right here. Once it opens up, it reveals 27.9 cubic feet of space. As you guys can see, plenty of space to put your family stuff on a long road trip. And this is how you fold down the second and third row. There's a 12-volt here, a little grocery hanger and whatnot if you would like to add that there. And this is how you close the tailgate if you like. Once you fold down all the seats, Jeep says this expands to 94.8 cubic feet of space. If you guys are looking for more cubic feet of space, you have to look at the Cadillac Escalade. And like I mentioned, the third row does get its own sunroof. There's LED lights back here, of course, just in case you're in a dark area. And lifting this up here, Jeep does give you some underfloor storage. But overall, the Grand Wagoneer is a serious competitor in this segment. Before hopping into the interior of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, this is the same key fob that they use on the Grand Cherokee L. So really nice key. It does have Wagoneer on the back of the key fob. There's a unlock, lock function, remote start. You can also lower the air suspension on this vehicle, and there's a tailgate button, also with the panic button. So if you guys have smaller children, they can access the Grand Wagoneer even better once you hit that button there to lower the vehicle. But to walk up to the Grand Wagoneer, sometimes the running boards will deploy once you have the key set up. As you guys can see, the running boards will deploy once it senses that there's a key. As you guys can see here, look at this cabin here, very nice cabin. My apologies for the beeping sound, I have the headlights on. So let me turn that off. But looking at this cabin here, this is one of the best cabins in the segment, in my opinion. I think Jeep did a fantastic job. But getting inside, like I mentioned, there's these running boards. There's also this grab handle. So if you're short like myself you can get into this large SUV. But reaching over here to shut the door, door sounds very solid. And I actually like the push button start. As you guys can see, it does push out here, but to start up the vehicle, just put your foot on the brake and press the start stop button right here. As you guys can see, you have this Grand Wagoneer display. Very nice display here that Jeep throws on the Wagoneer. Looking here at the door panel materials, it's going to be a nice soft touch material here. There is your seating controls here. This also has a massage function as well. My apologies for the low fuel light here, but this thing is very thirsty when it comes to fuel economy. There is 2-person memory seats here. There's your mirror controls here. This also has the Macintosh sound system. It is auto up, auto down for all 4 windows. There's this real aluminum accented door handle. I like the nice stitching here on the door panel. It's gonna be nice and padded here to rest your elbows. Down here is additional storage and cup holder space. There's your headlight controls, your dimmer switch, and it does have adjustable pedals. So if you're short like myself or tall, you can bring the pedals towards you, away from you. There's an electronic parking brake. There's also this power tilt and telescoping wheel. This is the same steering wheel that's off the Wagoneer model that I showed you guys about a month ago. You can also customize this display if you would like by pressing this button here. It shows you different stuff like what the suspension is currently in, or where you're playing on your actual Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And as you guys can see, the Macintosh sound system does stick out. The materials here on the dash are going to be a nice leather material. My model also has this heads-up display. This is a 12-inch display updates just in case they need to update some stuff. But looking here at the embedded navigation, let me try to navigate through this because I haven't messed with the Uconnect 5 system in a while. But going here, as you guys can see, this is some of the settings like the suspension, the pitch and roll. If you wanted to take your vehicle off-road, you can do that, but me personally, I wouldn't take my 100,000 Jeep off-roading. There's the vehicle source there, so it shows you different things. You can also fold down the headrest in the 3rd row. In the 2nd row, there's a mirror dimmer there, also with the power boards you can pop in and out of. There's also your climate controls here. This does have a dual climate control. There's a volume and tune knob, and there is 3 level heated seats, so you can turn both of them on, which is, I'm surprised to see that. That's normally for the other German competitors, if I'm not mistaken. There's also a heated steering wheel function there. Looking at the steering wheel, I actually kind of like the design here. Very futuristic, nice stitching and nice leather here. There's the automatic high beam switch here with the turn signal stock. The wind wiper stock is right there. And there's your gear selector here. This does have an 8-speed automatic transmission. This also has adaptive cruise control with blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist. So we're talking about the driver's assistance in the actual test drive. And this also has a rear view camera mirror. So really nice technology that Jeep throws here on the Grand Wagoneer. Up here is going to be for the 3-car garage remote. Nice suede Alcantara headliner. It's LED lights throughout the cabin, and there's this large panoramic sunroof. And the 3rd row passengers also get their own sunroof as well. But going back here to the Apple CarPlay, looking here, very responsive screen, very bright as well. Super impressive technology that Jeep is offering. More than nice stitching throughout the dash. Looking down here, this is a 10.25-inch display. You can also adjust the lumbar support up or down. There's also a back support here as well. And you also have a massage function here. Right now I have it in the waterfall, which feels very comfortable. I actually like this feature. The rear passengers, you can also turn off the rear climate control if you would like. Down here, this is how you open up this, because this is where my iPhone 13 Pro Max is living right now. It's actually on the wireless phone charger. It charges my phone at a really good rate. There's 2 Type-C ports in there with 2 Type-A ports. There's an HDMI port there, also with a 12-volt. And the passenger over here also gets a 10.25-inch display. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, you cannot see the screen from here because Jeep does not want the driver to basically glance over as they're driving. And once you press this button here, it will close this back. It's a touch sensitive area here. There's an auto hold function, lane keeping assist, traction control, hazard button. This vehicle can also parallel and park. This vehicle can also park itself. There's parking sensors, a tow haul mode. Putting the vehicle into reverse, there's this rotary knob here. It does reveal a top-down 360 degree. And Jeep did a really good job with the camera quality here. You can also look at different angles around the vehicle. So super nice tech that Jeep uses here. Switch it over to going to drive. Switch it back to the left to go into park. There's different drive modes, of course, which is rock, sand, and mud, snow, auto, and sport. This is nice high quality knob here. There's a for low. There's also a hill descent control, and you can lower and raise the suspension via this area here. There's 2 cup holders here. Open up this. You can put your wallet or your phone in here. There's a Type-C with a USB port. This area here is going to be nice and padded. Open up this. It does reveal a cooler. So if you guys want to have cold drinks like right now, if I turn it on, it'll keep my bottled water cold in there as I'm driving on a long road trip. The seats in here freaking fantastic, very plush and comfortable seats. But I'm gonna hop over into the passenger side so we can talk about that screen over there. So I'm gonna show you guys how the second passenger screen works here on the Grand Wagoneer. Once I open up the door here, the running boards will pop out. But getting inside here, I like this detail here. Jeep has Grand Wagoneer spelled out on the actual dash. Nice materials, but shutting the door here. And I forgot to mention, the driver gets a 20-way position seat. Also, the passenger gets 20-way position seats as well. As you guys can see here, it does have this dark tint to it because Jeep does not want the driver to glance over as they're driving and looking at the passenger screen here, but you can access the cameras here. It does show you a backup camera. You can zoom in and out. So just in case the driver is not paying too much attention to what's going on, you can basically look around the vehicle as well. You can pair a device here. As you guys can see, my phone is connected. It says Big Dog Darius. You can also go to navigation and basically type in whatever you want to type in. As you guys can see, really nice graphics here from the Uconnect 5 system. So for example, if I wanted to go to, let me see, Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A. So I'm gonna type in Chick-fil-A here, see if it pops up. It says searching. It might have to use the onboard Wi-Fi or use your phone, but either way, it's basically gonna navigate you there once you have everything set up. And it's just super fast here, very responsive, just like this screen is. So there's no lag or whatnot. But overall, this is how the second passenger screen works. Very nice technology that Jeep uses here. Like I mentioned, I actually love the tech. And my apologies, this is for where you guys want the air to blow. So for example, you wanted to blow on the upper part of your back or the lower part. That's what that's for. My apologies. I thought it was the heated function for the seats, but unfortunately, it's basically where you want the air to basically blow at. But overall, let's hop into the second and third row. Getting into the second and third row here, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Let's get into the second row first. Of course, as you guys can see, my model does have these running boards, so you can get into this big old SUV here. But getting back here into the Grand Wagoneer, as you guys can see here, I have plenty of headroom here. Looking down here, Jeep says you get around 42.7 inches of legroom. And this is where I have the seat to drive. As you guys can see, plenty of space where I have the seat to drive. And looking right here, there's going to be this LCD display that you can customize. It does have heated and cool seats here. You can also adjust the temperature back here if you would like. There's also a Type C port with a Type A port. There's a household outlet. Also, there's a 12 volt. The floor back here is not flat, but you can fit a middle passenger here because my model does have the bench seating. I'm not sure if you can get captain's chairs on the Grand Wagoneer, but there is rear air vents back here. And above, there is this panoramic sunroof here to let light into the cabin. The headliner here is going to be the suede Alcantara. There's LED lights back here with this grab handle, which is stitched in leather. You also get another grab handle here, which is stitched in leather as well. But shutting the door here of the Grand Wagoneer, door sounds very solid, just like the front door. There's also these manual sunshades here. Just like some other competitors, they don't even offer a manual sunshade. I'm talking about the Escalade, and I think the Navigator doesn't offer it as well. But there's two map pockets back here for storage. The switchgear feels really nice. This also has the Macintosh sound system. This area here does feel nice and padded with the nice stitching. There's additional storage and cup holder space. Very nice materials that Jeep throw it on the Grand Wagoneer here. Of course, I wouldn't expect nothing less because this is a $100,000 vehicle. There's your air vents here on the side pillar. But looking over here, pulling this armrest down here, it does reveal two cup holders and a nice area to rest your elbows. And you can fit 3 people across in comfort. But let's get into the third row really quickly here. Once you open up the door, of course, the running boards do pop out from underneath the vehicle. But Jeep makes it very simple to get into the third row. You can use this handle or you can press this button right here. Me personally, I just press the button because it's very easy to do that. And it does reveal a large aisleway to get into the third row. But getting back here, and honestly, it doesn't even take a lot of effort to get into the third row like some of the other competitors in the segment. I haven't filmed the BMW X7, but I've seen other reviews and that third row does look very cramped. But here in the Grand Wagoneer, as you guys can see, it is very spacious back here. And Jeep says you get around 36.6 inches of legroom. Let's talk about the materials. Here on the upper part of the panel here is going to be a hard touch plastic, but that suede Alcantara headliner does continue into the actual back. And the passengers also have their own sunroof here. You can open and close this if you would like, but I wish Jeep would have offered a powered function instead of it being manual. There's also air vents here. You can recline the seat if you like. This does have a power recline function. There's a Type C with a Type A port, cup holder, which is very small. So if you guys have like a big water bottle, good luck trying to fit that in there. But there's some storage here. This area is nice and padded. Besides this hard touch plastic area here, it's fine, but the materials are really nice that Jeep throw back here in the third row. You also get the same features over there, and very large window here, as you guys can see. So if you're starting to feel claustrophobic on a long road trip, just look out the window because it's very large. But overall, the second and third row of the Grand Wagoneer is very spacious. This is why you buy this vehicle, because it does offer lots of space. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This has Jeep's 6.4 liter V8. This powertrain makes 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. It is down 2 additional gears compared to the Lincoln and also the Cadillac, because those vehicles have a 10-speed automatic compared to this 8-speed auto. And fuel economy, since you guys want to know, is rated at 13 in the city, 18 on the highway, and 15 combined. Yes, this vehicle is very heavy, and Jeep says this can tow up to 8,200 pounds. So if you guys are looking to get better fuel economy, I would recommend looking at the other competitors in this segment. So starting off in the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, this has Jeep's 6.4 liter V8. This powertrain makes 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle is pretty damn heavy. And Jeep says this can tow up to 8,200 pounds, but once you get on the gas, you guys will hear that V8, which sounds pretty damn good. I was talking about fuel economy for this vehicle here. This has 13 in the city, 18 on the highway, and 15 combined. It's kind of a problem, especially with gas prices right now. So this thing is gonna be very thirsty when it comes to filling up at the pump, but you guys can go for the Escalade, which has a diesel powertrain, which I think that thing gets over 30 miles per gallon. So if fuel economy is your thing, I would recommend looking at the other competitor in the segment. And my apologies throughout the video. I just noticed I have this windbreaker on, so you guys kind of hear a little bit of the jacket in the video. So my apologies for that. But looking here, this cabin is just out of this world. One of the best tech-rich vehicles in the segment, in my opinion. The passenger has its own screen, and right now I'm looking over here. I can't even see it because Jeep has like this tint over it, so the driver cannot look at that screen as they're driving, which I think is a really good safety precaution, because you don't want to be looking and not paying attention to the road. That's the point of driving this vehicle here. The materials are really nice. You also have the suede Alcantara headliner. Jeep basically took the Grand Wagoneer and made it a super player in this segment here. Like I mentioned, the Escalade is the king of the segment, but Jeep built something to basically compete against the Escalade. The mirrors are freaking large. Let's talk about the driver's assistance. It does have forward collision warning, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist. There go those suicidal peacocks again. Lord Jesus. Lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring. So all the driver's assistance features that you guys want in a modern SUV, Jeep is basically giving it to you. Also with adaptive cruise control. The visibility of the Grand Wagoneer here is fantastic. Large mirrors. You also have this rear view camera mirror here. Jeep basically took all the money that they had and they built something extremely special. And me personally, I like what they did. This also uses an 8-speed automatic transmission. Yes, it is down 2 additional gears compared to the Lincoln and also the Escalade, because those vehicles use a 10-speed automatic transmission. The 8-speed in here is really good. I have no problems with the 8-speed. I don't feel like it's hunting for gears, so really good transmission paired with this V8 powertrain. The ride quality, you gotta talk about that. This thing rides so damn smooth. It feels like I'm riding on a cloud. And there is this knob here that you can adjust the adaptive suspension. This does have the Quadro Drive 2. So you can basically lift this vehicle up, and I think you get over 10 inches of ground clearance, if I'm not mistaken. I know in the Grand Cherokee L, you have around 10.9 inches of ground clearance. I think that matches the same number as the Grand Wagoneer. But let's do a run here really quick. There's a car behind me, so I'm gonna let him pass. Okay, go around me, go around me. Okay, yeah, use your brain. Duh. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into sport mode. Jeep makes it very simple. I'm gonna get off this rough part of the road here because I don't want the vehicle to be shaking as I'm doing it. So let's turn off the hazards here. I'm gonna leave the traction on, I'm gonna floor it. And that 6.4 liter hit me. We'll get up to speed very quick. I want to say 0 to 60 maybe in the 7-second range, because it got off the line really quick, and it kind of surprised me there for a second. It puts the power down really good. So if you guys want something that you could pass or trying to merge onto a highway, this 6.4 liter is really good. I tested the powertrain in the Wagoneer, which is kind of underneath this one. This one's like fully loaded here. This has a $100,000 price tag, which is like every other competitor in the segment, the Escalade, the BMW, all those vehicles have nearly a 6 price tag when it comes to basically trying to purchase it. But let's do another run here just because we can. And I'm gonna come to the stop. And then get off the line really quick. Honestly, I like the way this thing drives. Honestly, I think this is probably one of the best vehicles that I tested, even though I haven't tested out the Escalade with the diesel powertrain. But Jeep doesn't offer that. If you want all V8 power, that's what you're gonna get. There's no turbocharge, none of that crap. Jeep doesn't want to do that. They want to have straight power when it comes to driving the Grand Wagoneer, or even the Wagoneer as well. I think in the Wagoneer you get a 5.7 liter Hemi V8, but it's gonna be down in horsepower compared to this one. But like I mentioned, once again, great technology. The ride comfort here is really good. You also have 3-level heated and cooled seats. I just love everything about the Grand Wagoneer. I think this is one of the best cars for 2022, in my opinion, that I would pick over the other competitors. Like I mentioned, I love the Escalade, but look at this interior. The exterior styling looks like a rolling concept. I kind of got to get used to the exterior styling, but like I mentioned, Jeep did a good job with everything. And the steering feel in here is very playful. I still have the vehicles in a sport mode here, but so if you guys want to get your kids to school on time, just put your foot down and you'll get there. But there's no paddle shifters. There's these rocker panels back, so you can change the radio and the syncing track and also the volume. But just driving here, like I mentioned, super comfortable ride quality here. But overall, if you guys are looking for something very special and you don't want an Escalade or Lincoln or BMW, if you want a Jeep, you have to check out the Grand Wagoneer, because this is the only way that you're going to get something extremely special in this segment. Starting price here for the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is at $94,845. This one stickers for $124,674. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button. And I see you all in the next review.